A news hour tonight. INEC uploads over 88% of Edo Governorship Election results on IREV. Business owners in Borno count losses after devastating flood. Local adire makers decry economic strain, call for government support. Another foreign scene, Museveni's son Muhoozi Kainerugaba drops 2026 presidential bid. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Now the news. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has uploaded over 88% of polling unit results sheets of Saturday's Edo State Governorship Election on the Commission's result viewing portal IREV. Out of the 4,519 polling units, the Electoral Umpire has uploaded the result sheets of 3,995 polling units of the portal as of 06:40 p.m. on Saturday. According to INEC, there are 2,629,025 total number of registered voters and 4,519 polling units in Edo State. Out of this figure, 2,249,780, which is equivalent to 85.7%, have permanent voters' cards and will decide Obaseki's successor. The Saturday governorship election in Edo commenced around 8:45 a.m. in some polling units visited in Esako West and Central local government areas of the state. Polling officials and materials reached most polling units at about 8:30 a.m. Despite the light rain, voters trooped out and defied the weather to cast their votes as some voters came to the voting center with their umbrellas.
I want to first of all use this opportunity to congratulate the Edo people for coming out loud to exercise their civic rights. The election was very peaceful, free and fair. As a matter of fact, this is one of the elections that I've witnessed to be most free and fair.
No mago. We do easy. Everything day okay.
Tell us the turnout. People come out for the election.
The
turnout. People come out well for this election.
Yes, so many people will come vote.
Okay.
I have voted. It was smooth. There was no problem. But there was a little disagreement. We normally disagree to agree.
Okay.
Everything went smoothly. Okay. Unless they have a hidden agenda, which I cannot say.
By yourself, the atmosphere is very peaceful and calm.
Okay.
Everybody has exercised their franchise. Look, there's no disturbing. So I take this election as the best one.
Well, so far so good. It has been hitch-free. I want to commend INEC for coming on time because I came here some minutes to 9. I voted some minutes past, some minutes to 9. So it shows that the process has been smooth.
Accreditation and voting commenced simultaneously in Esako West and Esako Central local government areas. Edo North Senator Adamso Shomole voted at Iyamo Primary School in Esako West local government area expressed satisfaction with the polls. He commended the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the process, adding that he is impressed with the large turnout of voters. Others who spoke with Trust TV commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for the smooth process and lauded the security put in place to ensure the safety of both materials, electoral staff and voters. At Azama Primary School in Jatu, the Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu and other voters lamented the failure of the Beavers machine to authenticate voters. He noted that there was a massive turnout for the election because everybody wanted a change in governance but regretted that some voters could not be captured. Other voters expressed disappointment over the development which left some of them disenfranchised.
So far, so good in this area, apart from the hiccup we had with our beavers here. You can see we didn't start on time in this particular unit. The other unit, you can see almost everybody is sitting. They almost got done with their voting. But here, the beavers had issues. Twice the beavers had issues, and it's back now. So, apart from here, it's been peaceful in this particular ward, and with the feelers I'm getting, it's also been peaceful in most of the areas that I've received call.
Oh yeah, we want votes. Let the open machine for us. You need 5 machine, not the work. Let the open now. We want vote. Our body they hot. We want votes. Let the open.
Material arrived here very early, and then talking about the security is wonderful because I can see that we have the men in uniform all around, the police, the army, and then the other security outfits. They are all here, and so far they have no reason to complain because everybody is orderly, and you can see there's a huge turnout here.
The three major contenders in the Edo Governorship Election, Aswe Ighodalo of the PDP, Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party, and Monday Okpebolo of the All Progressives Congress, have shared their thoughts on the Saturday's election in the state. They to journalists shortly after casting their vote at the different polling units in the state. Governor Godwin Obaseki also spoke on his experience as well as his take on the election. Let's take a listen.
Everything is moving smoothly, and the beavers is working perfectly. You see it very as if you have not done it, you have done nothing. So it's like just go there and vote. That is how it is right now. I believe the way it is, it should be like that everywhere. It's okay here. I don't know others, but what I'm seeing here is like a testimony that INEC is getting it right.
I am calling on INEC that the playing field should remain level. Nobody should be given any undue advantage. All of our agents should be allowed into the collation center. The agents of all parties should be allowed into the collation centers. Nobody should be hindered or prevented from going into the collation center, so that we can all witness the process and be able to confirm that it was carried out in the manner as prescribed by law.
The fillers, I get good fillers from elsewhere. People, exit polls show that we're doing very well. So we're comfortable, we're very comfortable, and we're very happy with that. What we're not comfortable with is the little shenanigans that are going on, particularly from the APC guys. We've had rumors and we've seen things that the APC fellows have been trying to undermine the process. Many of them have been caught with ballot papers. Many of them have been caught with PVCs, and they are running around. The worst still, they go around trying to buy votes. I hear the rates now is, I don't know whether it's 15, they say now, or 20,000, So they're going around. So they tried everything to subvert the process.
For now, I'm glad with what I see. The process in my unit has been quite smooth and efficient. I just hope that the collation process will be the same, that it will be peaceful, and that the results will be counted and there will be no disruptions. By the military, yes, I think they've done well. And the Chief of Defense Staff came to see and gave assurances that they will be on ground and they will fully deploy. And you're seeing that deployment, and I'm glad that the military is here as a backstop.
Still on reactions, Yaga Africa has ascribed the late commencement of the accreditation and voting for today's governorship election. Mission Aisha.
Observers will observe the results evaluation process at both the local government area and state levels, ensuring timely and accurate reporting of the election process. Young Africa notes that despite a tense political climate, the Edo State Governorship Election began peacefully with minimal political incidents. However, logistical challenges caused delays in the commencement of accreditation and voting in several polling units. Observers will observe the results evaluation process at both the local government area and state levels, ensuring timely and accurate reporting of the election process. Young Africa notes that despite a tense political climate, the Edo State Governorship Election began peacefully with minimal political incidents. However, logistical challenges caused delays in the commencement of accreditation and voting in several polling units. Observers will observe the results evaluation process at both the local government area and state levels, ensuring timely and accurate reporting of the election process.
The Election Analysis Center of the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, says low voter turnout, incidences of vote buying and a variety of factors may impact the outcome of Saturday's governorship election in Edo State. The group made the remarks at a news conference in Abuja while reeling out preliminary findings of accredited election observers and fact-checkers who are currently monitoring the conduct of the off-cycle polls. The group, however, commended the electorate for their peaceful conduct so far and encouraged them to sustain the momentum throughout the process. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman has more.
70 trained accredited observers and fact-checkers are feeding the Election Analysis Center and a team of professors led by Professor Dele Janadu. The Election Observer Group says its preliminary findings revealed the Edo elections were characterized by low voter turnout due to rainfall and fear of violence amongst others. It also observed late arrival of INEC officials at some of the polling units, widespread vote buying and other challenges which could undermine the outcome of the Saturday poll.
INEC officials did not arrive on time. At Imotan College, particularly at polling units 12/12/04/001 to 005, INEC officials arrived very late, with none of the polling units operational by 9:45 a.m. Another major concern was possible overcrowding of polling units, with 65% of our observers noting that the polling units they observed had between 501 to 1,000 registered voters. This concern meant that officials in these polling units were overwhelmed, and coupled with the rains, this led to an expected low turnout at the commencement of the polls.
The Edo upcycle election is being conducted amidst crippling economic hardship. This may have paved way for the scramble by the politicians to induce the voting population. The group also observed fears of possible violence amongst the voters, and rainfall may have been responsible for low voter turnout.
It was observed that the APC and PDP offered between 5,000 to 10,000 naira in exchange for votes. The same was observed in Esan West, LGA, Ward 6, Central Primary School, Irekpe Ekoma, polling unit 004. Observers reported that this practice contributes to an increase in voter turnout, as news of the financial incentives spread amongst electorates.
Other hitches, which the Election Analysis Center has identified, which may affect the credibility of the elections, are minimal technical glitches and logistics supply hiccups recorded by INEC. Overcrowding at some of the polling units, which demonstrated high turnout of voters, may, on the flip side, have impacted negatively on the conduct of the exercise. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Still on Edo, the Nigerian police force says its operatives have apprehended a fake journalist who claims to be a staff member of one of the leading television stations in Nigeria during the governorship election in Edo State on Saturday. The police said the operatives also arrested 2 key suspects who are members of the PDP from Ufunama community in Ovia Southwest local government area of the state. This was disclosed by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi in a statement made available on Saturday. The items recovered include a list of voters' names with corresponding monetary values, a collection of pre-filled ballot papers, and a set of fake identification cards. Adejobi further disclosed that another 6 suspects were arrested by Aibo State Secondary School beside Merumu Hotel Auchi for engaging in vote buying. According to him, the group was found with a large sum of money, a cache of weapons, and a detailed plan outlining strategies for voter intimidation. Also, a party agent was arrested for attempting to snatch a ballot paper while sorting and counting was ongoing at PU 035 Gereti Ipoba Oha local government area.
Don't behave yourself. I'm someone like you. What they did.
Meanwhile, operators of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested some suspected vote buyers in the ongoing Edo Governorship Election. They were arrested in Ego, local government area of the state, around 10 a.m. EFCC officials left the location with 3 suspects, 2 males and a female. But some residents kicked against the arrest, insisting they were being victimized. The FCC had on Friday said it was deploying operatives to monitor the election, vowing to maintain the integrity of the exercise. Still election matters, but over in Sokoto State. Low turnout of voters on Saturday marred the local government elections held in the state. Though the election was held in all 23 local government areas of the state, voter turnout was not impressive compared to previous polls. In most of the polling units visited, women constituted over 75% of the voters. Trust TV's Vishal Adamu has more in this report.
Despite the security challenges affecting some parts of the state, elections were conducted in all designated polling units within the 23 local government areas of the state. Also, adequate security was provided at polling units, and movement of vehicles was restricted within the state metropolis. Even though 15 political parties participated in the poll, the turnout of voters was not impressive when compared to the previous elections.
Most of the reports we are getting are positive reports from all of the, from most of the police stations and from most of the local governments. Except 1 or 2, there are some 1 or 2 complaints, and that we said we are going to make inquiries, find out what the problem is, and try to solve it. But otherwise, everything was going on well.
The conduct of voters was commendable, as no political violence was recorded during the poll. Prospective winners of the election have been charged to always place the plights of the electorates above their personal interest.
Those elected into political offices should know that they were elected to serve the people. They should fear God, be honest, and work hard for the people and not work for themselves. Many people think they are being elected councillors just to buy a car, house, or get married. No, this is not the purpose. The purpose of electing you is for you to serve your people in the areas of health, water supply, education, and so on. Local government election is the most important of all elections.
Meanwhile, the state governor, Ahmed Aliyu, has assured those who will be elected of support to enable them succeed.
The local government autonomous in the country has come to stay because the apex court of the land delivered judgment. And a project of democrat and a true democrat, I know what it means for local government to become financially independent and autonomous. It's a good development, it's a welcome idea, and it will help this country to go forward.
Some of the voters told Trust TV what they expect from incoming set of local government leaders in the state.
I have cast my vote and I want the new leaders to work hard towards alleviating the sufferings of the masses, especially in areas of education, health, and so on. I am confident that things will be all right under them.
We thank God the election was peaceable, though the election did not start on time in some polling units due to delay in delivery of some election materials. Voters, especially women, however, patiently waited under the scorching sun to cast their votes.
With the local government autonomy in place, voters at the local level are expecting policies, programs, and projects that will alleviate their sufferings. Yusho Adamu, Trust TV News, Sokoto.
The local government election in Kwara State is generating mixed reactions, especially in Ilorin, the state capital, and Offa local government. While the election could be described as peaceful and orderly in Ilorin, that of Offa saw the people complain of insufficient supply of election materials, thereby leading to the stoppage of the election in the local government. The voting exercise, although a bit late, commenced in the Ilorin metropolis around 10 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock as earlier envisaged. The polling booth of the state governor at Idigba area of Ilorin West and that of the APC chairmanship candidate for Ilorin South were orderly. Meanwhile, the situation in Offa local government could be described as tense, as the election, which started by 12 in the afternoon instead of 8 o'clock, was stopped abruptly due to insufficient supply of election materials. The PDP candidate, on his part, called for the postponement of the election in Offa in order not to disenfranchise the people.
I was so happy with the QASEC coordinators and the security. Everything is cool and calm. The turnout is very, very okay. The process is very okay. They are here before 9 o'clock and they started their process by 10 o'clock and everything is going smoothly.
From what you can see here, we voted. The turnout is good. We wait for the results to come out from various people.
It's very unfortunate that we are supposed to start the local government election by 8 o'clock. And up till now, this is around 10:30. There is no any electoral material. We have not seen any presiding officer. Nobody has come to any of the polling units. And our people are resolute. Offa is not a docile community. They want to change. They are trying to help our president, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission has failed woefully. It is as if they are not even ready or prepared for this process. You imagine this is past 12. No electoral material has been provided. We have about 173 polling units. No single polling unit have seen a material.
Late arrival of materials and low voter turnout were some of the challenges recorded in the local government election in Imo State on Saturday. Even though the exercise was relatively peaceful in areas monitored, some civil society groups who monitored the election say the low turnout may be due to the low sensitization by the Imo State Independent Electoral Commission. Some commission officials who spoke said the delay in the commencement of the exercise was due to logistics problems and unforeseen circumstances. They, however, promised to extend the time of voting till everyone eligible to vote at various polling centers given opportunity to exercise their civic responsibility. The State Commissioner of Police, Danjuma Aboki, birth journalist.
and we have over 5,000 police personnel deployed. We have other sister agencies. We have the armed forces, that is the military, the civil defense, road safety, immigrations, NDLE, DSs. They are here supporting the police. And presently, we have not heard any sign of unrest in any of the sections of the state.
Away from election matters to security, joint security operatives in Imo State say they have recovered 3 more unexploded improvised explosives, vehicles, dangerous materials, and other incriminating items from a criminal camp at Ihiala in Anambra State. A statement issued by the Anambra Police Public Relations Officer SP Tochukwu Ikenga in Awka on Saturday said the criminal hideout was busted following the security intelligence gathered over time. He said at Lilu, Mbosi and Iseke areas of Ihiala, 3 unexploded improvised explosives were recovered alongside 2 abandoned vehicles and some explosive materials like copper wires, fuel and other dangerous materials. The Commissioner of Police, CP Nenge Obono Itam, while charging the operatives to sustain the tempo of the operations, assured the people of the state of the commitment of the police and other security agencies to continue to dominate and deny criminal elements the space they enjoy to wreak havoc in the state. Troops of Operation Safe Haven maintaining peace in Plateau and some parts of Bauchi and Kaduna states have arrested 2 gunrunners in Bakus local government area of the state. The latest arrest came barely 72 hours after the operation arrested 5 notorious gunrunners and recovered automatic weapons and about 6,000 rounds of assorted ammunition at Bayameni along Buchi Road of Jos North local government area of the state. Parodying the suspects at the Safe Havens headquarters in Jos, the spokesperson of the operation, Major Samson Zakum, said the arrest of the suspects followed an intelligence report received by the operation. Zakum said the suspects were arrested while finalizing transactions for sales of arms and ammunition amounting to 5 million naira at Banana Island Hotel in Bakus.
Criminality is a common enemy that we must jointly tackle to afford law-abiding citizens the freedom to carry out their socio-economic endeavor without fear. While it has been proven that proliferation of firearms is a major driver of security threats, Operation Safe Haven is ever ready in conjunction with other security agencies to clamp down on individuals carrying out these illegal acts.
As flood waters recede in Maiduguri, business owners face the harsh reality of their losses, with many struggling to pick up their pieces. Despite the destruction, the determination to rebuild shines through. Trust TV Segura Ibrahim reports from the heart of the recovery efforts, sharing personal stories of resilience from those hit hardest by the Alau Dam overflow. The report.
Gamboru Market is one of the busiest markets here in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Unfortunately, it was not spared from the flood that wreaked havoc across different parts of the city. This section of the market is the part of the market where vegetables, fresh vegetables are sold. Following the impact of the flood on this market, there was an advisory by the state government to residents to avoid buying fresh vegetables from this market due to fear of contamination by the flood waters.
While the advisories seem to have impacted the patronage of perishables, the traders say there is no cause for alarm.
Some have stopped coming, but the way they are taking the situation is not how it really is, especially perishables. After 4 to 5 days, whether people buy or not, they go bad. What I want the people to know is, for instance, these tomatoes aren't even from here. They come from another state. You see this okra and other items around. One is from Gombe and the other is from Benue. The thing that the water spoils, we ourselves remove them. We cannot deliberately bring ill to our customers. We are also indigenes of this place, and we were born here.
Residents also revealed that they are cautious and buy vegetables only from trusted fruits and vegetable sellers.
Before I could even buy it, I asked them from where exactly they imported the fruits, and they told me they got it from Jos through the channel of Borno, what's it called, the Tashan Kano, and then they bring it down here, which has something to do with the flood.
Away from the perishable food market, business owners in other sectors have narrated going through a harrowing ordeal as a result of monumental losses incurred. Esther and her family run a stationery and electronics accessories business just before the Maiduguri post office roundabout. She tells us what life is now like after the incident.
All the whole goods we bought, the printers, the A4 papers, everything was inside water. Since all this while, I've been removing the damages, putting the shop in order. Like this now, we are just starting from scratch, including this thing, carpenter work, paint. Like today now we start painting before thinking of buying those. So even the drying, you even get tired, because even if the thing dry, it will no longer look the same. You just select the one that we can just manage, the one that we can manage. Around evening, all these groups now you see outside, people will come and carry it.
Evan TV, a POS operator, complained about network interruptions, which has slowed down his business.
Like we that are operating POS, we are using GSM. In our area like this, if I go up, the network used to be okay, but if I come back here, I'll be having issue. Sometimes you see the POS will go to be showing me emergency. If I hotspot my phone, sometimes the network will come, sometimes it will not come. Before, it was not like that. It was after this flood that we started experiencing these challenges.
TV, who also runs a stationery business, says he lost millions of naira to the flood.
It's in millions, because the last time we took stock of this shop, it was almost over 50 million. Yeah, for the past 6 months. If I can take from that 6 months to today, if I should take another stock, it should be almost 20-something million like that. It's almost 90%. The damage is almost 90%.
Millions of naira, even printers, you know how much is printer? You can even see printer of 700,000, millions. We are into computers and stationery, so a lot of things, a lot of accessories, hard disks, different things. The damage is too much for us. We just pray we'll come out strong.
The post office area here in Maiduguri is known prominently for the activities of business operators who stay very close to the post office roundabout, selling stationery items and also computer and mobile phone accessories. Some of them who spoke to us gave us details of how much they have lost. However, others who declined commenting gave us a sentence response. God knows best and only Him is in control. From Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, Sagir Ibrahim for Trust TV News.
What a sad one there. Very, very heavy losses. Now, the Nigerian service chiefs have charged frontline troops to be committed and professional in the fight towards ending criminality and terrorism in the Northeast. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, stated this during a sympathy visit to Borno State over the floods that swept the capital, Maiduguri, last week. Trust TV's Beatrice Gurusi has more on this report.
The Maiduguri flood disaster and operational tour is the purpose of the service chiefs are here in Maiduguri. They were debriefed at the theater command and later addressed frontline troops of Operation Hatinkai. The Chief of Defense Staff commended the troops' rescue missions during the flooding. He promised to provide the necessary logistics and welfare to accomplish their constitutional tasks.
Always remember that our main task is to fight terrorism and all acts of criminality. That we will not relent. I want to appeal to all of you to continue to stay focused and committed. We have diminished the capabilities of these terrorists and criminals, but we know how they operate. If you allow them, they will breathe and come back. So until we cut off the neck of the snake completely so that we're sure that it's dead.
The military high command paid homage to the Sheikh of Borno before visiting the Governor Zulum at the government house to commiserate.
We will continue to support you to ensure that you achieve your mandate. You have been with us all this while. I am privileged to have served here and have benefited immensely from the support of the good people of Borno State, from you especially. So it is our desire, it is our prayers that God will give all of us the fortitude to bear the losses and the strength to stay strong and continue to work for the betterment of Borno State, the Northeast, and Nigeria in general.
The government and people of the North are also supporting the Nigerians. This is very important. The collaboration, the support, the resilience of the people of the North State, the resilience and support of auxiliary platforms are very important. Gorilla War is not easy. It's very difficult to deal with an enemy that you can't see. And that is why the support of the civilians is needed in order to end the insurgents.
Maiduguri floods reportedly killed about 30 persons while displacing thousands others. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
This is still the news hour on Trust Television. Up ahead. Bayelsa business owners seek government intervention over power disruption. This and more when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A recap of our top stories. INEC uploads over 88% of Edo Governorship Election results on IREF. Business owners in Borno count losses after devastating flood. To more stories. Local textile business operators, popularly known as adire makers, say they are facing difficult times as a combination of rising costs and foreign competition is disrupting their operations. Speaking to Trust TV, a representative of the adire makers expressed frustration with the current state of affairs, which is hindering progress in their trade, and decried government's lack of support for them. Here's the report.
According to the textile workers, the federal government needs to take decisive action by curbing the importation of fake textiles and intentionally support the local industry. They argue that government interventions is crucial for the survival of adire production in Nigeria. Beyond the competition from foreign imports, the high cost of petroleum is also a present issue for these textile workers. Rising fuel prices have had a negative effect on this business, further hindering production and increasing financial strain, while calling for policies that protect indigenous fabric makers and a reduction in the influx of low-quality foreign textiles. They warn that without such measures, the traditional adire craft could face extinction.
Because of the raw material, because by the time you calculate, this is what we discussed in the meeting today, that the cost of the raw materials, the manpower, by the time you calculate the cottons and some of the woods that we use in working, everything has gone up. By the time you calculate all these expenses, you realize that you are not making anything.
The National Union of Textile Garments and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria has also voiced its concerns, emphasized the difficulty the industry is facing, especially with the rising cost of electricity, fuel and food.
But as we are speaking, I can tell you that my members are losing jobs. I have some letters from organizations now telling us that they want to close down. And why? Because they cannot meet up. The environment is not friendly for them. Imagine there's one of my organizations in North whereby they are paying electricity bill at rate of 30 million naira per month. So such amount of money just in a day increase to 90 million. And that amount is going to the cost of the production. How can such a company strive?
The industry is currently under immense pressure due to the rising cost of electricity, fuel and food. Operators say the high cost of living is placing significant strain on workers whose wages have not increased to match the soaring expenses. As a result, many are struggling to make ends meet. In addition to economic pressures, adire maker like Tawakali Tuluye has expressed concern about the impact of cheap imported fabrics from countries like China, which threaten the existence of Nigeria's traditional textile industry. He laments that these fake fabrics are flooding the market and undermining local craftsmanship.
Now, because then they import our materials, it make our business collapse. But with the big government now, make them help us. The cloth where we they buy, they expensive. All the materials where they buy, they expensive. Make them help us.
Chinese adire in Nigeria is really affecting us, and again, it's affecting our production. You cannot do a business whereby you are to sell at 20 naira and someone brought a fake things and sell it at 5 naira. How are you going to meet up with that business?
The union continues to call on the government to provide support for the industry by creating a more conducive business environment, reducing costs, and ensuring local textile businesses can compete and thrive. According to the union, without immediate action, many jobs may be lost.
Over in Bayelsa State, business owners in Yenagoa, the state capital, are appealing to the state and federal governments to restore power supply in the city, which remained in total darkness due to the vandalism of electricity towers. According to them, the unavailability of electricity supply has made life a living hell, as they're no longer able to save money after covering for generator expenses, coupled with the hike in fuel pump price, which has resulted in low patronage. Trust TV's Friday Ebimoboe Peter has more in this report.
Business owners like Gladness, Onorimo, a hairdresser, and Prince Theophilus, a laundry shop owner, spoke of the difficulties they face trying to stay afloat as a result of the power outage in the state.
I not see increase because if I increase people go wrong, nobody get money to this thing. So I just the manager like as the way when I see them they go. May government help us with the situation of the light and the fuel price too. May government help us. At least make the fuel come down. If light not they make fuel they make we see the manage ourselves. The way when we the manager the cost of the fuel too much. Then light the whole state. Past 1 month now, no light too bad.
Thing is disturbing so much because in a process that you do business, then at the same time the fuel price is so much high that you buy it 1,500 per liter. How can you do to meet up? It's like this. We are not having light for almost 3 months like this in this Bayelsa state. I will increase the price because if I do it like that, it will affect my business. Because there's no gain over it. That is the problem.
A fashion designer, Moruf Oba, also lent his voice to the many lamentations of small business owners that are facing the negative impact of the power outage in the state. He, however, calls on the state government to come to their aid.
Something we're supposed to just collect just 5,000 naira. Because of this lack of the light, we are going to charge them 10,000, 15,000. Because before you sew up and down now, no how, you must spend at least 5,000 naira fuel. Before you come buy the tailoring things that you want to use to sew. See, I want to meet up. If you collect 10,000 naira up and down now, 5,000 I don't go for fuel. You buy 30,000 naira for the something you want to use to sew the cloth. The little 2,000 naira when remain serve nothing day. I want to keep money to pay the store rent. The house rent. Even small children say when they come from school now to give them just 200 naira, go just buy something. Now it hard. I beg our government, may they even try put mouth for this light matter. May they help us.
Since the vandalization of the electricity towers, Bayelsa State has remained in total darkness, with reported steps set to be taken by the state government to address the issue. Residents are hoping for speedy restoration of power. From Yenagoa, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News.
Let's get to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee will meet on Monday and Tuesday in a highly anticipated deliberation that could hold benchmark interest rates steady for the first time after 4 consecutive hikes, while the Debt Management Office auctions 150 billion naira in FGN bonds. The Debt Management Office issued 3 FGN bonds worth 150 billion naira on Saturday. The issuance includes reopening a 5-year 70 billion naira bond alongside reopenings of 7- and 9-year bonds, each valued at 50 billion naira and 30 billion naira each. At the last auction in August, DMO sold 374.75 billion naira across the 3 bonds offered, with the stop rates of the longest tenure at 20.45%. It sold 5 times its offer on its longest tenure in the August FGN bond auction on Monday. The 190 billion FGN bonds offered across 3 tranches on Monday are the lowest auction this year, down from 3 billion naira offered last month. Away from Nigeria, President Museveni's son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who has been mobilizing his support ahead of 2026 presidential elections, has announced that he would not contest for the country's top office currently occupied by his father for nearly 4 decades. Announcing his exit from the race on his X handle in the wee hours of Saturday morning, General Muhoozi endorsed his father, President Yoweri Museveni, in the next elections. In another tweet that followed about an hour after the first one, the 50-year-old, heir apparent to the presidency, told his over 95,000 ex-followers that for him, nothing on this earth is more holier than UPDF, adding that he cannot think of a greater honor than being in UPDF. But as social media users were still debating his post, the controversial general asked his millions of supporters, especially mobilizers of his political pressure group, Patriotic League Uganda, PLU, to support Museveni, who plans to extend his grip on power in 2026. It's time for sports updates with Adeni Ajishafe.
President of Nigerian Rugby League Association, Abiodun Olawale Cole, has showered encomium of Nigeria's women's national rugby league team, the Green Falcons, after beating Kenya 22-14 in their 4th Women's World Cup qualifier at the NY Center in Nairobi. Nigeria won the first leg with the rematch coming up on Sunday to decide the nation that will represent the Africa at the inaugural 2025 World Series. Olawale Cole urged the players to remain focused and go for another victory, while advising the team to cut out errors with handling of the ball and penalties ahead of the second game. Nigerian women's head coach Bolu Fagboru said the team is halfway there as they will have 2 training sessions before Sunday's rematch. Nigerian skipper Rukaya Jimoh expects the next game to be tougher than the one they won. Meanwhile, Kenya's women's head coach Antonio Lombardo said Kenya did not do much to deserve victory in the first leg, which earned Nigeria victory. And in boxing, heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua will face fellow British boxer Daniel Dubois on Saturday at the Wembley Stadium in London, England. His 4th title fight since losing his belt to Ukraine's Alexander Usyk in September 2021. A win for Joshua will make him the IBF world champion, making him the #1 contender to unify the heavyweight division. Joshua, a 2-time former unified world heavyweight champion, having held the World Boxing Association WBA Superversion, International Boxing Federation IBF and World Boxing Organization WBO titles twice from 2016 to 2021. A victory will place AJ in the elite group of boxers who have won the world heavyweight title 3 times, alongside Vitaly Klitschko, Leon Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Michael Moorer, and Muhammad Ali. AJ's record in boxing stands with 28 fights, 25 wins in knockout, while he lost 3 fights, as against Daniel Dubois, who won 21 fights, 20 knockouts, and losing twice. Both boxers were defeated by Alexander Usyk and could have the chance to face the undefeated Ukrainian, depending on the outcome of his rematch against Tyson Fury, built for December 2024. And in football, a third successive away win for Chelsea Football Club as they beat West Ham United defeat in the Premier League. The Hammers penalty appeal checked by VAR was turned down after Somerville went down with Mohamed Kudus goal flagged off for offside. Chelsea's victory puts them up on the table while West Ham are 3 points above the relegation zone. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
That's as of our package of News Hour tonight, and trust for more news, documentaries and programs. Do also follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us tonight.